Today we're talking about arm wrestling power and strength. Hi, it's Cal and you are watching Armwrestling Mastery. So before I start showing you some strength exercises, I think it's very important for you to know how I reached this truth about arm wrestling strength. So the story begins around 15 years ago when I started training. So for me as a young boy, it was very important for me to win. And I tried everything possible to surpass stronger opponents. Everything in agility sector. So we already talked about the 5 disciplines of arm wrestling mastery, but this is not a video about agility. Just a few quick facts that all the mastery that I reached in this area was just for the cause of winning against stronger opponents. I got some very interesting and impressive results, but in the long run you can never lean just on one of the 5 disciplines. So basically I started to understand how important is the strength and started to try different ways on how to become stronger. With years of experience and a lot of championships, I realized it's very simple. It's very simple to train for arm wrestling strength. So to become really stronger, it's needed to train only 5 or 6 arm wrestling exercises. And those are the advanced arm wrestling exercises. You need angles which will make you stronger in more than one muscle groups at the same time. So for example, if you think about it, you never measure the hook power by the cupping of the wrist. You never measure the hook power by the contraction of your biceps. So why then you train those separately? To have a good hook, you need to train it all at once. You can do it with a partner on the table, and you can do it alone in a very well-defined arm wrestling set, which you can find in the Ultimate Arm Wrestling tools, the link below. But you can train them as a holistic movement. So that type of movement gives you a genuine way to train the thing that you are going to implement on the competition day. In every sparring, you're doing a certain angle and you're trying to invoke few muscle groups at the same time. So I've said it many times and I will say it again. To become good, you need to be able to invoke a lot of support groups. This is what makes a world-class level puller. So basically, if you imagine that you want to train hook, you need the good side pressure, you need a very strong angle, and you need a good cupping. So a support of your shoulder and your higher back is also needed, and then you're going through your opponent. You don't want to train, let's say, cupping with a straight arm, isolated, or let's say flies on another day. I mean, if you have all the time in the world, you can do it, but I'm guessing that you want to focus on your arm wrestling. So it will help in a way, of course, but if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you want to pound a lot on your arm wrestling skills, and if you want to become really good, you should do it in one holistic movement. The next really important point when it comes to strength is what type of exercises to do. Isometric or polymetric. So I'm a big supporter of isometric exercises, and this goes back to the thing that I explained, that if you are simulating an arm wrestling match with the sake of training, you will do an isometric movement. But there are plenty of examples, like I know for sure that Spartak Zuluev, one of the strongest hook players in the world, is doing a polymetric exercise with a dumbbell. But either way, these type of exercises are more prone to injury because you have a lot of movement involved. And I will always recommend to you to do more isometrics in arm wrestling. So when I say isometric, this means that you are not doing the full extension, but you always have a movement that is related to your exercise. So for example, when you have a 100% pressure in the side, and then curl, and then drag a bit, and then your back is pulling on the other direction, you have for sure a lot of movements, but with very tightly compacted muscle groups that are helping each other. So the third very important point when it comes to strength is the repetitions. So even if you do, let's say, concentric or isometric exercises, you need to do them not more than 30 seconds when it's isometric and not more than 5 reps when it's concentric. So I need to give you the difference between polymetric and concentric, I guess. So polymetric is a full range and concentric is just the range that you're going to impact in an arm wrestling match. So those are the 3 major points about arm wrestling strength. In future episodes I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do. And of course you can leave a comment and tell me if you have any questions on this topic. So thanks a lot guys, it was great to see you. Hit that subscribe button and see you again next week.